Hey guys, what's up? pitmarthroy here, and welcome back to Stardew Valley. Let's check the weather, shall we? It's going to be a beautiful sunny day tomorrow, and the fortune is... the spirits are in good humor today. I think you'll have a little extra luck. Very, very good. Oh, hi there. Good morning. I noticed that you've been breaking some rocks open and finding ore. That's good. Well, yes and no. Typically, you're not going to get this cutscene until after today. And the reason for that is something that will unlock today. But, as you can see, if you picked up any copper ore in any capacity, this could be smashing geodes, this could be using your hoe on artifact spots and finding it. If you've done that at any point there, at this point, this cutscene will unlock the following day. So, technically you can get this as early as day 2, just bear in mind you may not necessarily. If you want to get the most out of the ores you find, you'll need a furnace. Just so happens I had an extra set of blueprints lying around. Here, I want you to have them. Well, thank you very much. Learned how to craft a furnace. The furnace allows you to smelt metal bars. The bars can be used for crafting, construction, and tool upgrades. And a lot of other stuff, too. When you've smelted a few copper bars, consider having me upgrade one of your tools. It can make your work a lot easier. Yeah, he's not kidding about that either. He is not kidding. Also... hello, Delta. You see this cat here? Now. I found it sitting outside the entrance to your farm. I think it's a stray, poor little thing. Well, all kitty cats are welcome on the farm. I think it likes this place. Hey, don't you think this farm could use a good cat? It could. Will you adopt this cat? I believe if you say no, and I could be wrong about this, it'll flash what happens on screen. I think, at least in the initial game, you had to have either a cat or a dog, and yes, I did leave the orange cat on by default. I think it would give you a different colored cat, like you would keep getting this cutscene on subsequent days, but I don't remember because A, you can choose what type of cat or dog you want, and B, I have a heart, so I'm not going to just turn away a cat. We're not going to go with the default name, which is Dudley. We're going to go with Little Callie, who is named after one of my characters. For those not in the know, I am a writer, and while that character is not a cat, they are not human, and they are very much orange, so it fits quite well. Robin here, I know there's a lot of stone scattered around your farm. Not anymore, there's not. If you have a surplus, you might consider me having build a well for you. Wells can be placed all over your farm and can serve as convenient places for you to refill your watering can. Just swing by my shop with 75 stones and 1,000 G when you're ready for it. Thing about this. I don't know anybody that finds wells particularly useful, just because on your farm, regardless of what type you have, typically water is not too very far away, so most people don't waste their time with this. And as you just saw with getting the different upgrades for your tools, one of those is a watering can, and once you upgrade the watering can, you're going to need that even less than you already did. So yeah, that probably won't be happening, but thanks for the offer. The actual important mail that we've got. To our valued JojaMart customers, our team members have removed the landslide caused by our drilling operation near the mountain lake. I'd like to remind you that our drilling operation is entirely legal, pursuant to initial L61091 JojaCo Amendment. Responsibility stewardship of the local environment is our top priority. There's laws about lying in the mail. We apologize for any inconvenience this accident may have caused. As always, we value your continued support and patronage. Morge, Joja Customer Satisfaction Representative. What does this mean? This means that the mines are open, the thing I've long since alluded to. And also, our parsnips are ready, and because of that, we have a new idea to sleep on. And, that is not the right button. That's the right button. It's been a little bit since I recorded the last 2 episodes. But yes, we have now reached farming level 1, which means our watering can efficiency and hoe efficiency go up. Now, I need to amend something that I'm pretty sure I probably already did in the, little addendums that I've been writing for here, but just in case I didn't, one of the interesting things is you cannot have your crops stolen by crows if you have 15 or less crops. I think might be 16 or less, but I know for sure 15 or less. So If you do not plant any additional things, the mixed seeds, anything you buy, you cannot have any of your crops stolen by crows. So bear that in mind additionally while also making your decision on, do you want to make the mixed seeds, or plant the mixed seeds now, or do you want to wait? As for the parsnips, of course I do want to sell some of these, absolutely, but I do want to keep some of them. I'm going to keep 6 in total. 1 for a quest that potentially might come up today, and then I usually just try to keep 5 of everything that I grow on hand. But the rest of them I am going to sell. As for everything else, for the time being, I'm going to replant mixed seeds. And then I'm going to plant cauliflower seeds for the rest. And we will leave it like that for the time being until we can craft that scarecrow tomorrow. There's the basics taken care of. Forging ahead, if you're going to keep mining, you should build a furnace. Yeah, about that, we don't have enough copper ore. As you can see, we only have the 1, but hopefully we will fix that later today. Raising animals. Robin, the local carpenter, lives north of town. In exchange for raw materials and money, she'll construct new buildings on your farm. You'll need her to build a coop or barn so that you can raise animals. Build a coop. I do not recommend doing this anytime soon. Animals, while they are absolutely a good source of income, are incredibly expensive. And even if you do want to do that right away, what you should be building before a coop is building a silo. The silo will allow you to store hay, and the hay will allow you to feed your animals. If you don't feed your animals, they're of course cranky, and they will not give the materials that you would get from them normally. And while you can buy hay, it's pretty expensive, and you'd be better off just storing it and conserving it carefully and just not spending the money to do that. So don't build a coop, build a silo. As you gain experience, you'll discover new crafting recipes to increase profit and make life easier. A scarecrow, for example, will prevent crows from snacking on your precious crops. Reach farming level 1 and craft a scarecrow. We have reached level 1 farming, but the recipe for the scarecrow will not show up until the end of the day / the following day. So we can't craft that scarecrow just yet. But for the record, it will use coal, fiber, and wood. So you only need 1 piece of coal. But if that is a worry for you, just go mining. You should be able to find at least 1 piece of coal. Should be okay on that front. Right. From here... Ooh, what do I want to do first? Part of me does want to sell the parsnips based on what we're doing. Ooh, this is going to be tough. I'm going to actually... I'm going to check and see what time. 9 a.m. You know what? I will hold on to them physically for now. Because as of where we're going, we should have enough money for anything I want to buy thanks to that treasure chest from day 2. But on the off chance that I don't, I do want to keep them with me. As you know, you can put things in the bin to sell them overnight, or you can sell them to the specific person, be it Pierre, Clint, whoever, that would normally buy them. Pierre would, of course, sell the crops to you, so he would buy them back as well. So if you don't want to wait till the end of the day to get your money from those, you could just take them straight to Pierre. Again, I don't think I'm going to have that issue. But where we're going, sometimes things can get a little bit expensive because, as you can see, today is Friday, which means quite a few things, but as we check the spring onions, one of the things that this does mean, ooh, there's a lot of these today, is that the traveling merchant is in town, and they are in town on Fridays and also on Sundays. Their stock will rotate, while they will keep one thing in particular, which I will show off whenever we show it off here in a second. While their stock does rotate consistently, there are some things that you would be able to get there much earlier than you would just naturally, and one of those things, as you remember from when we were starting the game, was the cabbage seeds. So you do want to make a habit of checking this daily. If this is a little too far out of the way for you, you can always check what they've got and then just reset because it won't change based on that. Let's see, barbed hook, fairy rose, tortilla, octopus, super meal, pepper seeds, mayonnaise, red plate, quality fertilizer, bullhead, tree of the winter star, and rare seed. Rare seed, despite its name, is the thing that she will keep in stock always. Tree of the winter star is just a decorative item, I don't need that. Bullhead, we've caught a ton of those. Quality fertilizer, well, good is not 900 gold good. Red plates, I don't really need this. You can make this later on and it's not really worth 2k. Mayonnaise, not really too terribly difficult to make. I think that's technically in part of a thing that we're going to be doing pretty soon here. Pepper seeds, you can buy these pretty easily in the summer, so they're definitely not worth it. Super meal, kind of the same thing as the red plate. Octopus, while it can be kind of tough to catch, we're not in a rush to get that. It's not used for anything terribly important immediately. Tortilla, don't really need. Farrows, while nice, we'll be able to plant those, and I believe either the summer or the fall, so I'm not worried about that. And lastly, the barbed hook, I'm not worried about because our fishing pole can't use any sort of hook or anything like that. You would need a much higher level one than what we currently have. So I'm not too terribly worried about that. I'm going to take a quick look over here since the spirits are in good humor and see if there's anything over here. Well, we are going to be spending the bulk of our day doing mining. Big surprise there since the mining area just opened up. Unlike fishing, it's not an immediate priority that we have to do as much as humanly possible because, spoiler alert, you will probably run out of energy before you run out of time in the mines, especially early on. I am going to go ahead and keep all the spring onions I've got for that energy, so I'm just going to move them over here. And because I don't really need these immediately, I'm going to go ahead and just sell these parsnips manually, like so. Oh, right, of course. See, the thing about mining is you probably want a pickaxe, not a regular axe. So we're going to drop that. Your pickaxe and your hoe are going to be all you need. You will also need a weapon, but you will get that when you get to the mines physically, so don't worry about that. If you did not buy it already, which would be understandable because I've got 5k gold more than I expected to, but if you do not have it when you're going mining, now might be the time to buy that backpack upgrade if you can afford it, because you will be picking up a lot of stuff in the mines, and early game everything is valuable. Also, going into town, as I hoped and prayed, and was thankfully correct. Oh, hi there. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? Welcome to the Community Center. The big quest of the game, should you choose to do it, there is technically an alternate path. This is the Pelican Town Community Center, or what's left of it anyway. Yeah, it's seen better days. Used to be the pride and joy of the town, always bustling with activity. Now, just look at it. Shameful. These days, the young folk would rather sit in front of their TV than engage with the community. Yeah, and watch YouTube videos. But listen to me, I sound like an old fool. Joja Corporation has been hounding me to sell them the land so they can turn it into a warehouse. Pelican Town could use the money, but there's something stopping me from selling it. Guess old-timers like me get attached to the relics of the past. Ah well. Well, that you don't want big business to just win every time. If someone else buys a Joja Co membership, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. Here, let's go inside. Yeah, if you tried to go in here prior, it would be locked and you wouldn't be able to do anything with this. What's this? I guess Vincent and Jazz must have been playing in here. This place is even more dilapidated than I remember. They got a little creature waving at us. What? Thought I saw something move. What's the matter? Are you ill? No, there was definitely something moving over there, my dude. You saw something? I wouldn't be surprised if the place is full of rats. I don't think rats are typically green in nature. You're worrying me, Delta. Look, I think I'm gonna head home. I need some lunch. Dude, it's like 9 a.m. You need some breakfast. You need a good brunch. Hey, I'll keep this place unlocked from now on. Maybe you can help catch that rat if you got some extra time. Strange. I'll have to come back and explore this building further. Well, we're actually going to do that right now. Head on inside. As you can see, rat problem. There's something odd going on in the community center. Investigate the community center. There's not too much you can do in here right now. All you need to do is go down to this scroll, right-click on it, and see that there's a bunch of text that you can't read. Other than that, just leave. You'll get a note in the mail tomorrow, and that will help you figure out the exact issue going on. But until then, there's not much you can do. That said, going back to our previous conversation, yes, if you have not picked up the backpack and can't afford it, now would be a good time to do so. Check the Traveling Merchant first for anything that's important, which, granted, if it's your first time playing, will be a little bit hard to dictate exactly what that is. Primarily, just for a brand new player, just the cabbage seeds. Whether it's the red cabbage itself or the cabbage seeds, you wouldn't be able to plant them right now as it's still spring and it is a summer crop, but if you have it, then just keep it in one of your treasure chests. Just keep it somewhere. Hello. I was just peering down in this old mine shaft. It's been abandoned for decades. Still, there's probably good ore down there. But a dark place undisturbed for so long, I'm afraid ore isn't the only thing you'll find. Yeah, you don't say. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. You received a rusty sword. Name's Marlin, by the way. Run the Adventurers Guild right outside. Yep, just to the right. I'll keep my eye on you. Prove yourself, and I might think about making you a member. Yeah, namely so you can just get in the door. But yes, there was a rock right here prior that somebody would be working on, just some unnamed character that you never really see after that, that would block this area off. And you wouldn't be able to get in here until today. There's an old mine shaft in the mountains north of town. There could be valuable minerals inside, but Marlin hinted that it might be dangerous. Reach level 5 in the mines. This little blockade over here you can't really do anything about for the time being unless you are lucky enough to find a bomb of some sort, in which case you can get rid of it early. The elevator currently does not work, as you can see, and this mine cart over here doesn't do anything either. So let's just go get exploring in the mines. Unsurprisingly, as Clint already kind of hinted towards, mostly because you would have typically already gone in here first, this is where you're going to find the heavy bulk of your ore. In order to progress through the mines, you need to find a staircase in each level like the one that you saw me get a second ago. These can be found sometimes by killing monsters and sometimes by hitting the right rock with your pickaxe. It can be these little nodes of either copper, iron, gold, etc. Sometimes, as you just see right there, the staircase can already be here as well. You can get multiple staircases. It's decently rare. I think it lowers the chance of them appearing, because why would you need a second staircase? They all serve the same function. So bear in mind, once you find a staircase, you basically got one of two options going through the mines. At least early on. Technically 3. One is you can focus on fighting monsters because, much like with the scythe, swinging your sword, or whatever weapon you're using, doesn't consume energy, which is very much appreciated. So you can get your combat experience right now by getting rid of the monsters that are in the cave, and also, of course, they drop things as well. You could focus on speed and just try to get the staircase as quickly as possible, or you could focus on exploring, looking around, trying to get all of the copper nodes, or, you know, any subsequent type. It's kind of up to you what you want to do. I ultimately find that combat is probably the slowest stat for me to level up personally. And I would say early on, especially because of how limited you're going to be with how far you can get, because once you get to a certain level, you are absolutely going to find out very quickly that it's going to be a lot harder to break these rocks than you're seeing right now. So I personally feel taking your time is not too bad of a thing to do, so just bear that in mind. Also, give me one moment while I slide this slightly over. There we go. You wouldn't be able to see it on your end, but I've got my recording little toolbar in the top left, and I need to know what floor I'm on. Which now I'm on floor 5, which means that you might have heard that little ding. That was the sound of the elevator. Progress is saved. Oh, I got slowed down by that slime, which is why I'm not a big fan of these slime enemies. They're actually kind of annoying, despite typically being, you know, like the weakest enemy in a game. The way that the mines save your progress is they do not save per floor, they save every 5 floors. Every 5 floors the elevator will unlock, so for floors 5, 10, 15, etc. So if you are on, say, floor 17, for example, and you don't think you have enough time or enough energy to make it to floor 20, you might be better off just, I wouldn't even say cutting your losses, but stopping early and not wasting additional time and energy that could be spent on other things if you don't believe you can make it there, because you'll get sent back to level 15 regardless. And of course you can visit any old level that you've gone to before, either by going down that staircase we started at level 1, or choosing any multiple of 5. Either one works. As you've already clearly seen, there are quite a bit of crates that are around here as well, and you do not want to hesitate to crack these things open, whether they be the crates or the barrels. As you've already seen, there's quite a bit of stuff that these things can drop. Semi-precious gems, hardwood is another big one. Sometimes they can drop accessories, like we have the combat boots, but sometimes they'll drop other accessories like that. They can drop rings, like the glow ring, which you would absolutely want at this point going through the mines. Because while the mines are lit up now, there's a specific set of about 10 floors that are not, and they're admittedly quite a bit of a headache to get through without any sort of light. As for me personally, like I said, getting the combat level is nice, but it's not vital by any means. For me, the big focus is getting copper. Ideally, I would want to get, at bare minimum, 45. But more would, of course, be better. For those that remember what the recipe was, it does take 20 copper bars to craft a single furnace. I typically, starting out, like to craft 2 furnaces. I just find that having the second one there helps quite a bit in getting things done faster. But later on, of course, you'd want to make a lot more than that, even though typically I actually don't, but either way. I would like, ideally, for this enemy to... Nope, no dice. Get away from me a little bit. There we go. Health early on isn't too big a deal, as you've already clearly seen the enemies don't do that much damage. Honestly, about the worst they could do in this early thing is do what the slimes do, which they just slow you down to a crawl. I do recommend killing those little small flying enemies. They'll always die in one hit because they only have 1 health, and they'll drop bug meat. So if you did buy an upgraded fishing rod and you need bait, then you can go to your crafting recipe, and there you go. You get 5 bait for 1 bug meat. Just poke around here really quickly. You also might have seen deeper in the mine. It seems that the mine elevator is still functional. It will allow you to quickly return to any elevator doors you've discovered. A deeper expedition might be in order. Reach level 40 in the mines. Now, the odds of you getting to level 40 in a single day are pretty low. I mean, technically it's possible if you found the staircase with the first rock you broke every single time. You could probably get there before running out of energy, but that's very, very optimistic. Level 10 will do fine for your first time, honestly. If you can get to 15, great. If you can get to 20, that's excellent. But level 40 is going to be pushing it, to say the least. And most of that's going to be due to the fact that you'll run out of energy, because like I said, typically you'll run out of energy before you run out of time. Let me do a little poking around here. Don't see anything too terribly important. Those enemies typically like to drop cherry bombs. I did pick up one of those earlier. It generates a small explosion. But I'm going to have a different use for that. I do have some space. This is what I mean about, though, even with the backpack upgrade, we're still almost already out of space, despite just bringing 3 things in here. Technically 6 with the spring onions. But we got leather boots, which would be great if I didn't already have combat boots. The immunity would be nice, but it's alright. This will always be your reward at level 10, so it will always be the same. So if you did not get any sort of footwear that is better than this, just take it, whack it on your feet, and there you go. You got some extra defense and some immunity. I'm going to quickly go up here and use the cherry bomb right here to destroy this. Just to show off what's over here. We can get it taken care of right now. There's a guy over here. Unfortunately, the dwarf does not speak English, and the only way to be able to understand him is by finding a set of 4 scrolls, and that will probably take a little while, so for the time being, there's not much we can do with him. I could have used the bomb to blow up some rocks down here, but yeah, you know what, it's okay. It's not too big of a deal. I'm usually not a big fan of this particular setup for a mining floor. Sometimes you'll see, I wouldn't say, well, I guess they are technically repeats. Sometimes you'll see similar pathways in mines, and I'll be sure to note certain ones that show up. Like this one. This was the one I was thinking of. If you see this one, do not bother breaking rocks to try to find a staircase. There will always be one at the end of this track. So you can just focus on getting the copper, fighting the enemies if you want to, and moving on a merry little adventure. As one would expect, most of your mining experience is going to come from breaking rocks. The lighter gray rocks do take more hits to break, but they do give more experience, so it is up to you if you would prefer to have the energy, or if you would prefer to gain the experience. I don't know why I'm wasting my time fighting those enemies. They're probably some of the more annoying ones on the early floors, those little bug things. Outside of copper and combat, my priority here would likely be, other than finding any sort of additional things like glow rings or, you know, really good boots or anything like that, which I would not expect, semi-precious stones like the topaz and the amethyst would also be pretty high up on my list, as well as quartz. Partially to sell to Gunther. Ooh, that might be a regular glow ring. Nope, that is a small one, same as what we got. I don't remember if these stack or not. It looks like it makes the light itself a little bit brighter, but the range is still the same, if I'm looking at this correctly. We do have a level up in combat, which we already had one in farming, but I just wanted to bring attention to it, to show you that, yes, we should be able to stay out a little bit longer than needed, so I should be able to make it to level 15 A-okay here. We are running a bit low on energy, but that's what we brought the spring onions for. Gonna go ahead and eat both. Not because I think it'll take that much energy. It might, but not necessarily. But more so I've got the free inventory slot. You'll also notice that we just picked up a geode. You can get these from mining rocks down here, same as you could on the farm. So if you did not see the little intro of your character picking up a geode, now would probably be when you would typically see it, where they'll say, hey, you should take this to the blacksmith and crack it open and see what you can find. I would like, ideally, for this guy to drop one of the things he can drop. And it looks like he did not drop it. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, let's just get out of here then. We'll head up to floor 15, or head down, rather. Take a quick check in the immediate area if there's anything. Oh, there's a little bug here. That little flying enemy that I attacked earlier that I said was a bit of a hassle, and I don't know why I was wasting my time with it. Those bugs will turn into that, but they'll only start to get ready to metamorphize, or however you want to say it, turn into a little cocoon. They'll turn green, and they'll basically become invulnerable to damage, and then they'll turn into those bugs. But they will only start that process once you attack them. So up until that point, they're basically harmless unless you accidentally just walk into them. Yeah, the glow ring is definitely increased in its power here, which is nice, but I'm hoping to find a large one later on, or a normal-sized one. For now, though, we made good progress in the mines there, and we've gotten quite a bit of stuff. Enough that I'm thinking it will be high time to make another chest. I'm going to put away what I would normally put in here to give me some space. We're going to build a chest. Put that away. I'm going to put it right here. I usually keep this one black for all the mining supplies because of like stone, coal, typically darker colored stuff. So stone, coal, crystals, quartz, all the semi-precious gems, geodes, enemy drops, all that type of stuff goes in here. That algae, while we did get down there, typically will go in here. And for some reason, I don't know why, I usually put the cave carrots in my, my default chest. Hardwood will go there as well. We'll take all of this out. Yeah, I guess that looks good. Alright, and since we've got a little bit of time left in the day, because we've got that level up, actually I have a couple, I am going to go ahead and make that set of furnaces. And I'm going to place them right there. Now that you built a furnace, you can smelt some metal. According to Clint's instructions, if you place 5 copper ore and 1 piece of coal in the furnace, it should produce a copper bar. Alright, we'll just go ahead and do them up. I'll leave the boots in here for now, since I don't really have a use for them immediately. Also, I spy a cat in my bed. So good thing I got here in time. You can move the cat around. The big thing really with that, and it's a small thing to do, thankfully, is you just need to right-click on your animal, dog or cat, whatever you picked, once a day to get that little heart above them. There is, at the end of 2 years, and I'll probably show it off next to in-game day here, there is a sort of overall thing that you're looking towards in order to get... Perfection isn't the right word, but like the highest rating for your farm, which will be at the end of year 2, the very last day of year 2. And one of the things you need to do is have a good relationship with whatever animal you picked, and you build that up by petting them, which is what you're doing there. But we've also gotten level 1 farming, so we finally have the scarecrow as well as basic fertilizer. Do not sleep on this fertilizer. It is incredibly good, and it will be quite a while before you get any other fertilizer. It's easy to make, and it's extremely good in what it does. You'll also get the water and cannon hoe proficiency. For level 1 combat, the big thing you're typically getting here, you do get different types of rings. Most of these I don't really recommend making unless you're just trying to craft one of everything. You do get bug steak, which is probably not a great use of bug meat. The big thing on here most of the time is getting the additional health. Because remember, you don't use any energy when swinging your sword, so there's no point in giving the weapon proficiency. In order to get better weapons, you'll have to either buy them from the Adventurers Guild or find them. And there are set ones in the mines that you can find, so no need to worry about that. Day 6. Saturday, what a day. Spirits are neutral, and the spirits are still neutral. Let's try that again. The weather report is going to be clear and sunny all day. Now you might start to see why I was saying over and over I was going to try my best to get the catfish on day 3, because who knew when it would rain again. We did pick up a copper bar. It basically just removed that journal. There's no reward or anything like that, but we did smelt the copper bar. So that's taken care of. We'll basically be using that. I wouldn't say you would do that with all your ore, but for the time being, it's going to be most of your ore is going to go right into your furnaces. My sources tell me you've been poking around inside the old community center. Why don't you pay me a visit? My chambers are west of the Forest Lake and the Stone Tower. I may have information concerning your rat problem. M. Rasmodius, Wizard. That reminds me, I still need to introduce myself to the last 3 people. You received a letter from the local wizard. He claims to have information regarding the old community center. Well, we'll take care of that. Also, I see something on the ground that I absolutely want. But we'll deal with that in a second. I see you've been exploring the old mine. You'll get this regardless how far you get in the mine. You've got the adventurous spirit, that much I can tell. If you can slay 10 slimes, you'll have earned your place in my Adventurers Guild. Be careful, Marlin. Unfortunately, this does not count any slimes that you destroyed before getting this letter. I wish it did. Tragically, does not. But the first thing we are going to do is go and talk to the wizard to get that big community center project started. As Lewis did mention, because he said if one more person buys a membership to Joja, that he would probably just sell the place. You do have the option to do that. You can go to Joja Mart, which we've already showed off is on the east side of town. You can buy a membership there, and you can get the same rewards and technically do it faster, because instead of getting specific items, what you'll do is just get... you'll just pay money bundles in order to unlock the things that you would unlock. But I think most people prefer the Joja, or the community center over Joja, because it's just overall a more satisfying ending. It's the closest thing the game has to like a main story quest. It's the big one of the game. I need to grab... Oh, I already have it. Need to get my hoe for these. You might have noticed that that dig spot looked a little bit different. The little wiggly things were more straight up. The prongs were kind of straight up. This will give you carrot seeds in the spring. In the summer, this will give you squash. In the fall, this will give you... what is it? I was going to say artichoke. It's not artichoke. I think it's broccoli. And in the winter, it will give you winter melons, or something close to that. It might be powder melons. But these are all different types of crops that I believe pretty much the only way to get is through tilling these specific spots. But the carrot seeds in particular are very good because A, they don't take a lot of time to grow, and B, while they don't sell for much, they give you a very good amount of energy. If you're doing a lot of mining, carrots might be a very good option for you to keep. So, that said, we are going to get those planted as well as everything else we've got. And the other thing we need to do, of course, is build a couple scarecrows. Prevents crows from attacking your crops. Has a limited radius, about 8 tiles. This does include diagonal. Diagonal is 1 tile. I'm going to build a couple of these, actually. Put everything else away. And there we go. Get a little bit of money for that, which is always nice. I'm going to put one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll go about here, I think. So yeah, this will easily protect, and I think there's a way to check it. This will also show how many crows they've scared off. There is a way to check, but I don't remember what it is offhand, what the radius that the crow or the scarecrows will safeguard for you. So you'll know that my crops are in a position where they will not get taken by the crows. So plant that. Plant all those. We'll plant these. And I do plan on picking up some more seeds today as well. I'm not going to grab a lot, but I do want to grab some for sure. There's the example, by the way, of why I said don't really worry about the well. It's not that important. I'm going to put this stuff up for the time being as we go and talk to the wizard. And we'll also, of course, check the spring onions as well. Ooh, very nice. I do need to be checking that left-hand side, too, for things like the morels. You can find other types of mushrooms over there on the forest farm as well. It's not just this. You can find red ones. If you're lucky, sometimes a purple one, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But if you're lucky, a red mushroom or a common mushroom might pop up there. Split second there. I thought we were going to the traveling merchant, and then I remembered, nope, we're going to the wizard. I'm also going to do my best to talk to the remaining townsfolk that I've not seen yet, because I need to do that. Ah, come in. If you'd come here before, it would have mentioned that the door is locked, but you can hear somebody inside. I'm Rasmodius, seeker of the arcane truths, mediator between physical and ethereal, master of the 7 elementals, keeper of the sacred... You get the point. And you, Delta, the one whose arrival I've long foreseen. Purple recognizes purple. I get it. Here, I'd like to show you something. Behold! Yep, we saw that yesterday. You've seen one before, haven't you? I have. They call themselves the Junimos. Mysterious spirits, these ones. For some reason, they refuse to speak with me. They seem to like me, I guess. I'm not sure why they've moved into the community center, but you have no reason to fear them. You found a golden scroll written in an unknown language. Most interesting. Stay here. I'm going to see for myself. I'll return shortly. Indeed you will. Thankfully, this doesn't eat into your time. Though I will say, cutscenes like this, if you're playing multiplayer, time will still move here. So, if it's your first time playing and you want to see the cutscenes without that penalty, maybe play in single player, and then you can just, of course, skip them with a little skip thing down here. I found the note. The language is obscure, but I was able to decipher it. We, the Junimo, are happy to aid you. In return, we ask for gifts of the valley. If you are one with the forest, then you will see the true nature of this scroll. One with the forest. What do they mean? Well, I've got a forest farm, which doesn't matter in this. Aha! Come here. My cauldron is bubbling with ingredients from the forest. Baby fern, moss grub, caramel top toadstool, can you smell it? Here, drink up. Let the essence of the forest permeate your body. I'm not big into drugs, but I guess we got to. Oh, I didn't realize it gave you energy. That's funny. This isn't something you get normally. So, I mean, you also don't get an acid trip normally if you're eating and drinking healthy. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. You've gained the power of force magic. Now you can decipher the true meaning of the Junimo Scrolls. Oh, and you can talk to the wizard again if you want. Ah, yes, I predicted your arrival a long time ago, young Delta. However, your fate is ultimately in your own hands. Nice. As you can see here, though, on the introductions, again, the wizard does not count. You could have done this pretty much by, I think, day 1 or 2. I'm not 100% sure if you can get everybody in day 1. You probably can. Hate to burst your bubble past self, but remember Willie getting in on day 2 and saying he just got back? Yeah, you can't talk to everybody on day 1. Sorry. In fact, I think I have done so before. So who are we missing? I need to check that one more time. Harvey, Maru, and Leah. Well, Leah's usually out here, so we'll probably hunt for her first, but I'm also going to check for, of course... Oops, that's not the right way. I'm going to check for those spring onions. Again, like I mentioned in a previous episode, I'm not going to be checking for these all the time. It's just early game when energy is hard to come by. These are important. By the time that you get to year 2, you probably won't think twice about these. Here's Willie. Ahoy there, it's nice to see young folk moving in the valley. It's not very common these days. Yeah, and it's nice to know that I can't apparently remember what day I met you. Alright, we'll knock it off with the cutaway gags now. Good to see you, my man. It's locked, only Leah's friends can enter uninvited. So she might already, or she might still be in there. I might do a quick search, but I know where Harvey is. He's at the clinic because it's finally open at this point. I barely avoided Vincent catching me checking the trash there. Yeah, we'll do a quick little peek inside here. Mara's not working today, as I could already tell. Oh, Harvey's not here either. Maybe he's hanging out over his... He's got a couple spots he likes to hang out in the spring, one of which is over here. He might also be north of town. No, he's not. Interesting. There's also a quest. I should check this real quick. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Need a carp. That's actually decently doable, but I'm actually going to pause real quick right here and look up where Harvey and Leah, and I guess since I'm already there, Maru, are at this point. Alright, we'll start with Harvey because I know where he is. So on Saturdays in spring, and also if it is not raining, I would recommend using the wiki if you're trying to find somebody's schedule. The way it will work is it will give you the month or the season, either or. They're basically interchangeable. And it will show their schedule from most to least priority. So, like, say it's Saturday in game for you. Saturday, Harvey would be at the museum from 8:30 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. But if it's raining, raining is a bigger priority on his schedule, so his schedule will be overwritten by whatever his schedule is during the rain. Also, there's an omelet. It's super fluffy. I do want to check the beach as well, but we'll see if we've got time. Yep, there he is. Hey, Harvey. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Harvey, the local doctor. Performed regular checkups and medical procedures for all the residents of Pelican Town. It's a rewarding work. Hope you find your own work equally rewarding in time. Well, thank you so much. Alright, let me do a search and try to find Leah. Okay, Leah's going to be a little bit later in the day. She spends a lot of time in her house until she goes to the saloon at 4. So since we can't find her, or can't reach her right now, let's try Maru. Alright, I'm actually having internet issues right now, which I've been having for the last couple days. Just something about the Wi-Fi is just not cooperating. So I can't check that right now, so I'm going to go search where she would normally be. But since I'm already by the beach, let's grab a couple things here. I think I've got both of these already, but I would like to try to find another... Oh, right, we never repaired that. I forgot about that. Suppose we can do that. Today's less of a day about fishing or mining or anything like that, and more just a relaxed day with a little bit of farming stuff done in there. Since I'm here, one of the things I also want to do, and I recommend that everyone do, well, first of all, is talk to everybody. But the other thing I want to do is, now that we have gotten on our collection screen being one with the force magic, you might notice there's this little button over here, Community Center. If you go back to where that scroll is, and I'm not going to waste my time doing that immediately because I don't have the items, you'll see that there are different bundles here. Construction, fall foraging, exotic foraging, and then summer, winter, spring, and fall. Now, of course, you're not going to have any forageables from fall, summer, or winter, with some exceptions. You might have been able to find some of these in the mines, for example, or maybe off the traveling merchant. The exotic one you might have some stuff for, the morel being one, the cave carrots. You might have some of this stuff. But the oak resin, maple syrup, and pine tar are the big reasons I'd say try to get to foraging level 4 decently quickly if you can, in order to be able to get these a little bit more easily. The construction bundle, other than the hardwood, is pretty easy to do, but the big one that you're going to want to try to get done first is the spring foraging bundle. Wild horseradish, daffodil, leek, and dandelion. By this point, you hopefully have one of each of these at least, so you should be able to do this. But the big thing I want to do, again, for the community center bundle, is buy a couple of these things. More of those bundles will unlock once you get one bundle done, and one of them is, of course, crops for your spring rather than the forageables. One of them will be the parsnips, so hopefully you didn't sell them all, but if you did, grab like maybe 5 of these. You'll also need 1 cauliflower, 1 potato, and 1 green bean. I'm only going to buy like 2 of the green bean starters. They grow on a trellis, and the trellis is given to you, but it means you can't walk through them, so they're a little inconvenient in that regard. The potatoes are pretty good, honestly. The cauliflowers, if you have already gotten the 9 from giving enough stuff to the museum, you're probably okay to not get any more unless you really want to. I'm going to be saving up for a different thing that's going to be coming up on the Egg Festival. The potatoes, though, are very good because they have a chance of yielding multiple per harvest. So I'd say grab, like, at least 10, ideally a little bit more if you can. As for everything else, the tulip, kale, and jazz seeds, I would just get, like, 5 of each. You can buy these individually, or you can hold down shift and left click and buy them in sets of 5. Everything else here I'm not too worried about. This will enable you to start the big grass. You can just straight up plant it. Here's some basic cooking supplies once you've got the ability to cook. Some wallpaper and flooring. Later on, when you've got a lot of money, you can basically buy the catalog and get anything you want. And lastly, the saplings, which are very important, as well as the hydrator. But the saplings are pretty important. They take a full month to grow, but once they grow, every single day in whatever season they grow their fruit, you will get one. So like in the summer, if you planted it today the 6th, then by the summer of the 6th, it would grow into a full tree, and you would be getting an orange every single day until the season ended. You're pretty much going to need most, if not all, these for the community center. Ideally, the one to prioritize is the apple tree, because you need this for a couple things. But it is a fall crop, so you do have plenty of time to build up this gold. And I'm not going to buy one immediately because of how expensive they are. I'd want to save up in case the traveling merchant shows up, or also for the 13th for the Egg Festival. So I'm not going to worry about that immediately. I am, however, going to see if I can find... Any chance you're up here? No. Sometimes Maru's there. I'm going to do another check to see if my internet's back here. And see if I can't find where she is on Saturday. She will head to the bench east of the community. Oh, so where I was looking at 2. So by the time we get up there, yeah, she'll probably be ready to talk to us. So we'll have time to do all that. We'll get to Leah as well. We'll do the next quest because it's pretty easy to do, thankfully. Oh, she's already here. Cool. Oh, weren't you the one who just moved in? Well, like a week ago, but, you know, moving takes time. I'm Mario. I've been looking forward to meeting you. You know, with a small town like this, a new face can really alter the community dynamic. It's exciting. Hey, Demetrius. Let's see there. If compounds in the rhizosphere contain sufficient levels of carbon-13, then... Oh, sorry, I was pondering some data and didn't notice you there. Well, don't let me interrupt you, my man. Talk to Robin as well. Hey, I heard that Lewis showed you around the community center. It'd be great if you could fix that place up. It used to be a really nice building. Well, we'll see what we can do. I'm actually going to go and take the top path back around to my farm. We'll put everything down. We'll grab the stuff we need for that first bundle in the community center, and then we should be able to talk to Leah on the way to that center. Because it'll probably be 4 by that point. We still got some stuff we got to plant here. If you're worried about farming taking a fair bit of your energy, first of all, that is understandable. It does take a fair bit if you put in a lot, so maybe don't buy too many seeds. But do bear in mind that will get your farming level up faster, and of course by getting that farming level up faster, that also means that you will start using up less energy when you water and till the ground. So... it is a sacrifice, but you know what? It's one that has to be made. Also, I will apologize in advance if you are not big on how I'm just kind of planting the crops haphazardly. There's plenty of ways to decorate your plot of land that you farm on and make it look all nice and neat, but early game, that's probably not going to be a priority. It's definitely not for me, but it probably won't be for you either. I think that was all the seeds I bought. Yep, so we'll put this here, and we'll put the 2 trellises there. See, can't walk through these. I'll drop these in here for now. Yeah, we did have an oyster already. We didn't have the mussel, though, which is good that we picked that up. I'll drop this stuff in here for now. It is worth noting the clay that's used in crafting and construction. I did mention building a silo, and if you are to build a silo, you are going to need some of this clay. So do bear that in mind. You'll need clay, iron bars, and I think just wood. The price that you have to pay on top of that is pretty low, so that part's not too bad, but you will need to make sure you've got the proper materials in order to build that. That's one of those things you might want to check the wiki so you don't make a trip up to Robin's only to find out you don't have what you need on you, and you need to go back to your farm, grab it, and come back. Or that you just don't have the materials necessary right then and there. And there we go. If you have a little spot sticking out like that, by the way, that was where I tilled up the carrots. You can use a pickaxe and just remove that and have it look the way it did normally. So if that aesthetic bothers you, hey, at least on the upside, there's a pretty easy fix to that. Let's see. I do need to talk to Leah, so I'm going to bring a daffodil as well, because I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. After you've talked to everybody, the next quest will be give somebody a gift. It doesn't even have to be a gift they like, so you could just, like, gift them a piece of sap if you wanted to. And I could have made that fertilizer, but for these early crops, I'm not too worried about it, so I'm not going to freak out about that. I'm going to take a second daffodil, a dandelion, a leek, and a... where's the last thing? Horseradish, though. For the center... what else? I can bring a cave carrot and a moral, and I could do the construction bundle as well. Well, no, I couldn't do that part of it. I could get the stone for it, though. So moral, cave carrot. Ooh, that's... you know what? I'm going to wait on that, actually. I'm going to wait on that. Let me think. What else do I need to do? Other than this, talking to Leah, giving her a gift, or just giving anybody a gift, really. What else would I want to do? I could take stuff to the museum. Well, no, I couldn't. I'm going to be short on time, honestly. I don't think I'll be able to get to the museum in time, but I could try. Oh, that's a good question. Museum closes at 6, right? It'll be cutting it close, but you know what? I'll give it a try. I know I've already donated that. So I think it's just those. I'm going to move them down here so I remember. Alright. We're gonna make a beeline predominantly for the museum here, since our time is limited there. Leah's gonna stay in the saloon for pretty much the rest of the day. I don't think she leaves until midnight. So if we see her on the way there, great. If not, then, like, no big deal. We'll just get her on the way back. There's Marnie. Might try to talk to her real quick. Time doesn't pass in these, as you can see once again. I'm sure Callie will be a little shy at first. It takes a while for an animal to get comfortable in a new setting. Not my character, that's for sure. She'll make herself right at home. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get there in time, unfortunately. Maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be cut it really close. Ooh, with less than a second to spare, basically, but we got it. That's the important thing. I'm not looking for any particular reward here. This was just to get this taken care of and out of the way. A more skilled Stardew player would be able to be like, you don't have enough for that, you need like 3 more things before you get a reward, but I am not that type of player. But the fact that I got that at the buzzer was pretty awesome, so I will take that victory. Yep, Leah's already in here. Hello, it's nice to meet you. You picked a good time to move here. The spring is lovely. Imagine if it took until the summer to talk to her for that. Alright. Once you've talked to everybody, again, there are some exceptions, like the wizard does not count. How to win friends. Giving gifts is a great way to build friendships. Learn each person's individual taste and you'll be popular in no time. Give somebody a gift. This is a really nice gift, thank you. Get 100 gold. Again, even if they hate it, you'll still get that. There is a spot where you can check that. I just don't remember where. But, yeah, here we go. If you click on the, let me go back real quick. If you go to social and then click on the little gift thing, it will show a list of all the gifts that you've given them before, whether they like it, love it, hate it. It'll also show their birthday and their status and everything like that. So you can see all those. This is one of the newer updates to the game, so if you didn't know about that, that's because it's relatively new. But it is really nice, so most people just went to the wiki and be like, oh, she likes X, Y, and Z. And for characters that I often gift, I remember pretty well, but there's some people that just have a really weird set of gifts that I can never remember all that well. Harvey and Alex are 2 of the big candidates for that. Alright. Actually, let's start with exotic foraging, since we're not going to complete that bundle, since we've only got 2 things. You don't have to place these in order, by the way. I'll just go ahead and show this off. You can just place them in any order. As long as you have them, that's the important thing. And each time you complete a bundle, it'll be done, so you don't have to do it again, and you'll also get a reward, which is spring seeds, an assortment of wild spring seeds. What does that mean? These are basically seeds that you can plant to get the 4 wild forageables that you dropped. So the leek, the dandelion, the daffodil, and the horseradish. So they give you 30 of those, so any that you did have to give up, you should be able to get at least one of each between 30 seeds pretty easily. I kind of just grow these wherever they fill in, but there is another use for them if you befriend Caroline pretty early. That might be a reason to hang on to them for another purpose. It's kind of ultimately up to you. You can also make the wild seeds as well, which I don't know if we do have the recipe for that, which is just you can make 10 by having one of each of these. So you can grow them back relatively easily, so don't need to worry about that. Other than that, what do I want to do? I think, honestly, I've done everything I want to for the day. So if you've done everything for the day and you don't really know what to do, and you also don't want to, like, you know, dump a bunch of time into something when you need to get back to your house decently quickly, again, early game fishing is a very good choice for this, because you may not want to commit to going on a mining expedition. You know, farming takes a fair bit of energy, whereas fishing, while it does, you can get that energy back. So fishing is always a good choice early game. Ooh. Please and thank you. So I think fishing is what we will do for the rest of the day. This is sort of unofficially my spring chest, by the way. I just kind of leave it on here because this is where I put tools and things. You could, you know, color it green if you wanted, but since it's my default chest, I of course go with purple, as it is tradition. So we'll take the pole. I'm just looking through here to see if there's anything that like really stands out of, oh, I should definitely do that, but I think we are ultimately good. One of the other things we could do, admittedly, though, and you know what, I might go ahead and do that. We do need more wood. I think it's time to chop down some additional trees here. We're probably very overdue for that, if I'm being perfectly honest, but we've got the time and we've got the energy, so let's do it. Wood is basically something that you're always going to need. It doesn't matter if you're in year 1 or year 5, which, granted, most people don't play that far. I don't think even I've ever played that far. I think I've gotten up to the end of year 3. But it is something you're always going to need. Now, while I did mention that you could use the pine cones, the acorns, and the maple seeds to craft the fiber snack, or what is it, field snack, you can do that, but you could also plant the individual seeds for the trees to start growing more. So if you feel like you're going to run out of wood between here and the other areas, that might be one option for you. I'm going to go ahead and eat these. Thankfully, the cookies and everything else have no expiration date. In fact, as you'll see later on, if you take the fish and put them into a fish pond, up to and including the ones that you got from day 2, not only are they still, like, perfectly healthy, they're still alive, too. But if you don't feel like that's going to be a problem, bear in mind that after you have chopped down every tree on your farm, that A, they will regrow naturally. It will take a while, but they will regrow naturally. And B, that you can also chop down all the trees that are in the forest to the south of you. There are a couple trees that are just north of your farm on that little shortcut. There are some trees in the mountainside area. Oh, well, there's one of each of the items. There's some trees in the mountainside area. Pretty much the only spot you can't chop down trees is in the town itself. But other than that, usually if you see a tree, most of the time if you can see it and you can reach it, then it can be chopped down. Probably also good to get that foraging level up. I actually don't remember what I'm at for that. Level 2. That's okay, but yeah, again, 4 is ideal. Well, I think combat is the most time-consuming skill to level up. I think the one that, for new players, is sat on for too long the most is almost assuredly foraging. Foraging gives you a lot of good crafting recipes that you're going to want. And we should have enough time to effectively eat this and get the... hopefully at least get to level 3. If we could chop down the stumps and the like, I'd be doing that because they do give very good experience as well, but... sadly, that is not something we can do right now. Needless to say, this was a little bit of a longer episode, even with the cuts, and while I do apologize for that, I also don't apologize for that, just because the first Friday in-game has got a lot going on in it, with the mines unlocking, having the traveling cart. There's just a lot that's going on all in that one day. Not quite enough, huh? I do kind of want to chop that tree down to see if I'll get enough experience for it. But that said, I don't think I can get there, chop the tree down, and get back before it hits 1 o'clock, and I don't think we leveled up anything here, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. We're just going to head to bed. Ah, the cat's actually on the bed instead of in the bed this time. That's nice. Yeah, nothing new. Didn't sell anything, didn't level up anything, but we got a fair bit done just based on having far less of our things in the journal. Because again, the coop, we won't do for a while. Level 40, I mean, we'll work on that, but it'll still take a bit. Slaying the slimes, again, same type of thing. And then the delivery, I'm okay with just letting that go, personally. Either way, let's switch back to that menu. And say thank you all for watching. Next episode, we'll be starting the end of the first week. It feels weird for Sunday to be the last day. This is more of a Spanish type of calendar. For those that don't know, Spanish calendars typically start on a Monday, because Monday is the first work day. So it's a little bit weird in that regard. But the Traveling Merchant will be back, and we'll see what else we can do. We're kind of in an area now where there's less of a formal routine that I have, and more now we're setting up for the Egg Festival that will occur within this week. It's also Lewis's birthday today, so be sure to swing by and give him something, at the very least, that he likes. The daffodil flowers are always a very good choice. It's a nice, easy thing that you will almost assuredly have at least one of to spare. Till then, though, take care, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.